My wife refused intimacy for months and suddenly wanted a baby. I already suspected she was pregnant, so I quietly planned the revenge she never saw coming. When she announced her surprise pregnancy at dinner, I smiled and said, "Congratulations, honey." Then I put it on the table. Her face went pale. It started in January. 6 months of excuses, headaches, work stress, exhaustion. "Not tonight" became her favorite phrase. I tried date nights, flowers, even couples therapy she canceled twice. Then in March, everything changed. She started waking up early for makeup, wearing the black dress I bought her that she said made her look fat. Suddenly buying ovulation kits and leaving them on the bathroom counter, talking about baby names while scrolling Pinterest nursery ideas. I'm not stupid. I noticed when she started wearing her wedding ring again after 8 months of claiming it gave her a rash. The $89 gym membership she used religiously but never came home sweaty. How she showered before bed instead of in the morning like our entire marriage. The credit card statement told me everything. Same hotel every Tuesday, $247 each time. She said wellness spa. Wellness spas don't charge by the hour. So I scheduled a vasectomy consultation. Asked the doctor one question. If I got this done 2 years ago, would my wife know? He said no, not unless she specifically asked. I smiled. I'd gotten it done 18 months ago, March 2023, right after Sarah's promotion. The one where she started working late with the team, where she met Connor from marketing. I never told her. We'd agreed no kids until financially stable. Then the distance started. I let her plan her fairy tale. Prenatal vitamins by the coffee maker, mommy blogs, crib links costing more than our couch. I played along, acted excited. Meanwhile, I built my case. Phone records, 47 calls to the same number in 2 months. Car GPS, same address every Tuesday and Thursday. Connor's apartment on Riverside Drive. Private investigator, $200 for photos of them holding hands at that coffee shop on Market Street. My lawyer said I had enough for fault-based divorce. She gets nothing from my inheritance, the house my parents left me, or my retirement account. Then I found the pregnancy test in her gym bag. Positive. 3 days old based on the date written on the plastic cap in her handwriting. She'd been planning this dinner for 2 weeks. Majanos, where we had our rehearsal dinner 7 years ago. She invited her parents, her sister Michelle, my brother, our closest friends, 12 people total. "Big news to share," she said. I showed up in the navy suit she loved, brought flowers, kissed her cheek in the parking lot. She was glowing, practically vibrating with excitement. I'd never seen her happier. We ordered appetizers. She got sparkling cider instead of her usual Pinot Grigio, making a big show of it. Her mom noticed immediately, squeezed her hand across the table. After the main course, Sarah stood up, clinked her glass with a fork. The entire restaurant went quiet. "We have an announcement," she said, reaching for my hand. She pulled out a small gift bag, handed it to her mom. Inside was a onesie. "Grandma's little miracle." Her mom burst into tears. Her dad started laughing and crying at the same time. Everyone rushed to hug her, congratulating us both. My brother hugged me, whispered, "Finally, man," in my ear. I let it play out for exactly 2 minutes. Then I reached into my jacket and placed 3 envelopes on the table directly in front of Sarah's plate. First envelope, vasectomy records from Dr. Harrison, dated March 15th, 2023, with the medical seal and his signature. Second, printouts of hotel charges, GPS logs, 2 photos of her and Connor kissing in his car. Third, divorce papers already filed with the county clerk that morning. "Congratulations," I said clearly, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Hope Connor's excited about being a dad." Sarah's face drained of all color. My phone buzzed. A text from her old roommate. "Is she telling people she's pregnant again?" I showed Sarah. She went completely still. "Again?" her mom asked. Sarah closed her eyes. "You weren't supposed to find out about the last one." The table went silent. Her sister's voice cracked. "What last one?" Sarah's voice was flat. 3 years ago, I was pregnant. 8 months. I gave her up for adoption." Her mom's hand flew to her mouth. 8 months? "Sarah, where?" Sarah's voice broke. "I see her sometimes. The family sends pictures. She has your eyes." She looked at her stomach desperately. "This is my second chance. I don't care whose baby it is. I'm not giving this one away." Then the restaurant door opened and a woman walked in holding a toddler with my exact eyes. Everyone at the table turned. The little girl had dark curly hair, and those same green eyes my mom used to say made me look like trouble. The woman holding her was maybe 35, wearing jeans and a sweater, looking around the restaurant like she was searching for someone specific. Her gaze landed on Sarah and her expression hardened. "Sarah," the woman said, walking straight to our table, "we need to talk." Sarah's fork clattered onto her plate. "Amanda, you've been sitting outside my house for 3 months, Amanda said, her voice steady but loud enough that nearby tables were staring. "Fake Instagram accounts, fake Facebook profiles. I have screenshots of you parked on my street at 2 in the morning, and then you sent me that message yesterday." Sarah's mom stood up. "Who is this?" Amanda shifted the toddler to her other hip. The little girl was staring at Sarah with wide eyes, sucking on 2 fingers. I'm Amanda. I adopted Sarah's daughter 3 years ago. We had a closed adoption. No contact. That was the agreement. An agreement she broke, Sarah said, her voice shaking. You send me photos. You started this. We sent you 2 photos in 3 years because our lawyer said it might help with your closure, Amanda interrupted. That's it. 2 photos. Then last week you messaged me saying if I didn't arrange visits, you'd report us for kidnapping. You said you'd claim we coerced you into signing away your rights, that we manipulated you when you were vulnerable. The entire table was frozen. Sarah's dad was gripping the edge of the table so hard his knuckles were white. My brother looked at me like he didn't know who I was anymore. One of our friends was already reaching for her purse, clearly ready to leave. Amanda looked at me directly. Are you the husband? Yeah, I said. Then you need to know something, Amanda said, adjusting the toddler on her hip. The little girl had started whimpering. Your wife has been spiraling for months. The messages got worse every week. And honestly, I don't think it's all her fault. Sarah whipped around to face me, and I saw something in her eyes I hadn't seen in years. Rage. Pure, unfiltered rage. You know what? Amanda's right. You want to know why I'm unstable? Because he made me this way. Sarah, I started. No, she snapped. You don't get to talk. You knew about her. She pointed at the little girl in Amanda's arms. You knew I gave up a baby and you used it to mess with my head. Every time I mentioned wanting kids, you'd bring up how I wasn't ready, how I had issues, how I couldn't be trusted with that kind of responsibility. You made me feel crazy for wanting another chance. Her mom stood up and pointed at me. He knew? You told him and he used it against you? Of course he knew, Sarah said, her voice breaking. I told him on our second date. I was completely honest about everything, about the pregnancy, about the adoption, about how much it destroyed me, and he said he understood. He said it didn't change anything between us. But then after we got married, everything changed. He started using it against me. Every argument, every time I wanted to talk about our future, he'd bring up how I'd abandoned my first baby. That's not true, I said, but my voice sounded weak even to me, because it kind of was true. Not every time, but enough. Michelle, Sarah's sister, was scrolling through her phone. Is this true? She turned her screen toward me. It showed a text chain between Sarah and me from 8 months ago. Sarah asking if we could see a therapist together to talk about our future and maybe kids. Me responding, why? So you can talk about more things you regret? We've been over this. I didn't remember sending that, but there it was. My number, my words. In hindsight, it looked cruel as hell. You isolated her, Sarah's mom said, standing up. The table next to us was definitely listening now. After your parents died, you wouldn't let anyone near her. We invited you both to Christmas, and you said she was too tired. Easter, same thing. Her birthday, you said she wasn't feeling well. We thought she was sick. We thought something was medically wrong. She wasn't sick, Michelle added, her voice rising. She was drowning, and you wouldn't let anyone help her. Every time we tried to visit, you had an excuse. Every time we called, you said she was sleeping or busy or couldn't talk. That's not... I tried to interrupt, but Sarah's dad cut me off. I called your house 17 times last fall, he said, his voice quiet and controlled, which somehow made it worse. 17 times. You answered twice. Both times you said Sarah would call me back. She never did. I asked you directly if everything was okay and you said she was just stressed from work. Was that true? I didn't answer. Because the truth was, I'd stopped giving Sarah most of those messages. I'd convinced myself her family was overbearing and she needed space, but really I just didn't want to deal with them. Amanda looked uncomfortable now, bouncing the toddler gently. The little girl was crying softly into Amanda's shoulder. Look, I came here because Sarah's messages were escalating and I needed to make sure she was okay. But this sounds like something you all need to work out as a family. This is way more complicated than I thought. She's been stalking you, I said, trying to regain control of the conversation. Showing up at your house in the middle of the night, that's not normal behavior. She's not stable. And whose fault is that? Sarah's dad said. His voice was still quiet, still controlled. Did you help your wife when she was struggling? Did you comfort her when she was processing the trauma of giving up a child? Or did you just punish her for it? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you married someone with trauma and then spent years making it worse. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out, because the truth was sitting in my chest like a stone. I had known Sarah was struggling. I'd known for at least a year, and I'd done nothing. I'd been so focused on catching her in lies, on proving she was betraying me, that I'd stopped seeing her as a person who needed help. You want to know something? Sarah pulled out her phone, hands shaking. I found your vasectomy records 4 months ago. You left your laptop open one morning and I saw the email from Dr. Harrison's office confirming your follow-up appointment, the one to make sure the procedure was still effective. The table went completely silent. Even Amanda stopped swaying with the toddler. My brother was staring at me with his mouth slightly open. I knew, Sarah continued, her voice steadier now. I knew you'd been lying to me for over a year, acting like we were trying for a baby when you'd made damn sure it would never happen. You'd let me buy ovulation kits and prenatal vitamins and track my cycle like an idiot while knowing the whole time it was impossible. So you cheated, I said. So I found someone who didn't treat me like I was defective, Sarah shot back. Connor actually listened to me. He didn't make me feel broken every time I talked about wanting kids. He didn't bring up my past to make me feel worthless. And yeah, when I got pregnant, I knew exactly what you'd do. You'd assume I was lying. You'd assume I was trying to trap you with some other man's baby, because that's who you've become, someone who assumes the worst about the person you married. She reached into her purse and pulled out a folded piece of paper, smoothed it on the table in front of everyone. It was an ultrasound photo, dated 2 weeks ago, clear as day. 11 weeks and 3 days pregnant according to the printed text at the top. "I'm not faking this," Sarah said, looking directly at me. "I'm actually pregnant with Connor's baby, and I never expected it to be yours. I stopped expecting anything from you months ago. I just wanted to leave this marriage with something that was mine, something you couldn't take from me or use to make me feel like garbage." My brother was staring at me. "You got a vasectomy without telling her?" I didn't answer. What could I say? That I'd done it because I suspected she'd cheat and try to trap me? That I'd been planning my exit strategy for over a year while pretending everything was fine? "You played yourself," Sarah said to me, and there was something almost like pity in her voice. "You thought I was trying to trap you with a fake pregnancy, so you brought all this evidence to humiliate me in front of everyone we know. And now everyone here knows the truth. You're not the victim. You're just cruel." Her mom was hugging Sarah now, glaring at me over her daughter's shoulder. Michelle was crying, mascara running down her face. My brother wouldn't look at me. The friends we'd invited were gathering their things, clearly wanting to be anywhere else. I could see our friend Jessica whispering to her husband, both of them shooting me looks. Amanda cleared her throat. "I'm going to go. This is clearly a family matter. But Sarah, you need to stop contacting us. I mean it. No more messages. No more driving by our house. No more fake accounts. Get help. For yourself and for this baby you're carrying." Sarah nodded without looking at her, her face still buried in her mom's shoulder. Amanda left with the little girl, and I watched them go through the restaurant, the toddler's face peeking over Amanda's shoulder, still staring back at our table with those eyes that looked exactly like mine. My perfect revenge had just imploded. Everyone in this room thought I was a monster. And looking at Sarah, at the way her whole family was surrounding her and protecting her from me, maybe they were right. I stood up. Nobody tried to stop me. I left the restaurant alone while Sarah stayed, surrounded by her family. I could see them through the window as I walked to my car, all of them huddled around her, her mom stroking her hair, her dad on his phone probably calling their lawyer. I sat in my car for 20 minutes before I could even start the engine. My phone was blowing up. Text from my brother. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Text from Jessica. "I can't believe you did that to her." Text from my cousin, who wasn't even at the dinner, but had apparently already heard about it. "Did you really expose her pregnancy in public?" I drove home to the empty house my parents left me, sat in the dark living room. Everything I'd planned, every piece of evidence I'd gathered, all of it had been turned against me. Sarah had somehow made me the villain in a story where she was the one who cheated. My phone rang at 11 p.m., Sarah's name on the screen. I almost didn't answer, almost let it go to voicemail, but something made me pick up. "What?" I said. "I need you to understand something." Sarah's voice was calm, too calm, eerily calm. "I've been planning this for months, since the day I found your vasectomy records." "Planning what?" "This. Tonight. All of it." She paused and I could hear her breathing. "I knew you'd bring those papers to dinner. I knew you'd try to expose me in front of everyone, so I let you." My stomach dropped. "What are you talking about?" "You're predictable," she said, and I could almost hear her smiling. "You're so convinced you're smarter than everyone that you never consider someone might be playing you. I got pregnant with Connor because I knew I needed leverage. Real leverage. I knew if I acted excited about a baby, you'd assume I was faking. You'd do exactly what you did tonight. You'd bring your evidence and try to humiliate me." "You wanted me to humiliate you?" "I wanted you to humiliate yourself," Sarah corrected. "And you did. Perfectly. I recorded the whole thing, by the way. My phone was in my purse, camera pointing up. You handing over those vasectomy papers in front of my family. You telling everyone I was faking a pregnancy when I was actually 11 weeks along. That's going to play beautifully in divorce court." I felt like I was going to be sick. "This is insane." "No, this is survival," Sarah said, her voice hard now. "You spent 2 years making me feel worthless, using my past against me, treating me like I was broken and damaged and unworthy of basic human compassion. So I made sure that when this marriage ended, you'd be the one everyone blamed. And it worked." "No one's going to believe." "They already do," she interrupted. "Check your socials. Michelle posted about tonight. So did Jessica. So did your brother, actually. You're trending in our little social circle. The controlling husband who got a secret vasectomy and threw his wife's trauma in her face at a public dinner. That's your reputation now. That's how people will remember you." I pulled up Facebook on my laptop. She was right. Michelle's post had 200 shares already. Can't believe what I just witnessed. A husband publicly humiliating his pregnant wife by showing medical records proving he's been lying to her for years. "Sarah, you deserve so much better." The comments were brutal. People I'd known for years calling me manipulative, abusive, psychotic. Jessica's post was worse. "Sat through the most uncomfortable dinner of my life tonight. Watched a man systematically destroy his wife in front of her family. If you know Sarah, please reach out to her. She needs support right now. My brother's post was simple. Learned tonight that I don't really know my brother at all. Disgusted doesn't begin to cover it. What do you want? I asked Sarah. I'm filing for legal separation tomorrow, Sarah said, and I want temporary spousal support, plus full coverage of all my medical expenses for this pregnancy. Every doctor visit, every ultrasound, every vitamin, everything. You're going to pay for Connor's baby because if you don't, I'll make sure every single person in your life knows exactly how you treated me. I'll make sure everyone knows about the times you told me I was broken, about how you isolated me from my family, about how you used my trauma against me. You can't. I can, and I will. My lawyer already has everything ready to file first thing tomorrow morning. She paused. Oh, and just so you know, Connor wants nothing to do with this baby. He blocked me the night of the dinner, sent me one text saying he didn't sign up for this drama and to never contact him again. So you're my only source of support now. Isn't that ironic? The husband who can't have kids is now financially responsible for someone else's baby. She hung up. I sat in my apartment, staring at the phone, watching the social media notifications pile up. Everything I'd planned, every piece of evidence I'd gathered, all of it had been turned against me. Sarah had weaponized my own revenge. She'd used my cruelty against me, and now I was the monster. My lawyer confirmed it the next day. I met him at his office at 9 a.m., barely having slept. He looked over the separation papers Sarah filed. She's good, he said, looking over the documents. Everything here is legally sound, and with the social media posts backing up her version of events, if you fight this, you'll look even worse. Way worse. So what do I do? You pay, he said simply. Spousal support, medical bills, everything she's asking for. Because if this goes to trial, that recording she has of you presenting vasectomy papers at a family dinner, a judge will destroy you. Family court judges don't like husbands who get vasectomies without telling their wives. They really don't like husbands who then use those records to humiliate their pregnant wives in public. But she cheated. I have proof of the affair. Hotel records, GPS logs, photos of her with Connor, and she has proof you psychologically abused her by getting a vasectomy without her knowledge and using her past trauma against her for years, my lawyer said, leaning back in his chair. In family court, especially with a pregnant woman, that's going to carry more weight than an affair. Way more weight. You'll look vindictive. You'll look like you drove her into another man's arms through years of emotional abuse. And honestly, based on what I'm reading in these social media posts from people who were there, that's exactly what happened. So I just pay? That's it? Unless you want to spend the next 2 years in court fighting a pregnant woman while everyone you know thinks you're abusive, yeah, you pay. So I paid. The first payment went through on a Thursday, $2,800 for spousal support. Then the medical bills started coming. Prenatal appointments, $180. Specialist consultation, $340. Vitamins and supplements, $67. Every single charge came to me with a copy of the receipt and a note from Sarah's lawyer explaining that per the separation agreement, I was responsible for all pregnancy-related medical expenses. Every month, I transferred money into Sarah's account. Every month, I felt a piece of myself crumble. I'd log into my bank account and see the balance dropping, $2,800 on the first of the month, then medical bills throughout the month. My savings account that I'd built up for years was draining. Sarah sent me ultrasound updates. Not because she cared if I saw them, but because she wanted me to know I was funding Connor's baby. 12 weeks with a note. Baby's doing great. Thanks for covering the appointment. 16 weeks with a note. Found out the heart is strong. Appreciate you paying for the echo. 20 weeks with a note. It's a boy. Hope you're excited to keep paying for him. Every update felt like a knife. I tried to ignore them, deleted them without reading after a while, but they kept coming. Sarah made sure I knew exactly what my money was going toward. I tried to focus on work, but my reputation was destroyed there too. Someone had shared Michelle's Facebook post in our company's social Slack channel. My boss called me into his office. Look, what you do in your personal life is your business, he said, not making eye contact. But this is affecting team morale. People are uncomfortable around you. Maybe take some time off. Work from home for a while. So I did. I worked from home and watched my social circle disappear. Friends stopped calling. My brother sent me a long email about needing space to process everything and how disappointed our parents would be. My parents' old friends from church stopped inviting me to events. I went from having a full social calendar to spending every weekend alone in my house. Then one day, about 3 months after the restaurant incident, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Hi, this is Amanda. We met at the restaurant a few months ago. My stomach tightened. What do you want? I'm sorry to bother you, she said, and she sounded genuinely apologetic. But Sarah's been messaging me again. It's gotten worse. A lot worse. What do you mean? She's sending photos of her ultrasounds with messages like, you kept one daughter, now I'm replacing her. She's saying she's going to have this baby and prove she can be a good mother, that she's going to show everyone she's not broken. It's honestly scaring me. My husband wants to call the police, but I thought maybe I should reach out to you first. Why would you reach out to me? Because you're still technically her husband. And I know things between you two are bad, but she needs help. Real help. She's not just sad or upset anymore, she's obsessive. She sent me 12 messages yesterday. 12. All about the baby and how this is her second chance and how I stole her first chance from her. Have you called the police? I'm working on a restraining order, but that takes time. The police said unless she's actually threatened us or shown up at our house, there's not much they can do about messages. I just thought you should know she's spiraling. Maybe you can talk to her family or something. After Amanda hung up, I sat with that information. Sarah was harassing the family who adopted her first daughter while 7 months pregnant with her second. This was ammunition. Perfect ammunition. If I documented everything, I could prove Sarah was unstable. I could use it in the divorce to make sure she got nothing. Maybe even get some of my money back. I called Amanda back. Hey, can you forward me those messages? And any photos you have of Sarah outside your house or anything like that? Why? Amanda sounded suspicious. Because if she's harassing you, there should be documentation for the restraining order. And honestly, it might help in my divorce case to show she's not stable. There was a long pause. You want to use my family's fear to win your divorce? I want to document that she's harassing you. Isn't that what you called me about? Another pause. Fine, I'll send you what I have. But I'm doing this for my daughter's safety, not to help you get revenge. She hung up. 20 minutes later, my email dinged. Amanda had sent me everything. Screenshots of Sarah's Instagram messages from fake accounts. Photos Sarah had posted showing her pregnancy with captions about second chances and redemption and proving everyone wrong. A video Amanda had taken of Sarah's car parked outside their house at 11 p.m., just sitting there with the engine running. It was perfect. Exactly what I needed to bury her in court. I saved everything to a folder, started documenting dates and times, built a timeline of Sarah's harassment. My lawyer was going to love this. I spent 2 weeks collecting evidence. Every message Amanda forwarded me, I saved. Every social media post Sarah made about her pregnancy, I screenshotted. I built a case that would prove she was mentally unstable and unfit to parent. Then Sarah showed up at my apartment. I heard pounding on the door at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. When I opened it, she was standing there 7 months pregnant, wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, mascara running down her face. "You've been talking to Amanda," she said. It wasn't a question. "She contacted me. You're collecting evidence against me." Sarah pushed past me into the apartment. She moved differently now, one hand supporting her lower back, the other on her stomach. "You're trying to make me look unfit before this baby's even born." Amanda told me. She said you asked her to document everything. "You are unfit," I said, closing the door. "You're stalking the family who adopted your first kid while pregnant with someone else's baby. You're sending them threatening messages at midnight. You need help, Sarah." "I need you to leave me alone," Sarah screamed, and her voice cracked. "I need you to stop controlling every single part of my life. I'm trying to move on, and you won't let me. You won't just let me go. You filed for spousal support. You're the one who won't let this end. You're the one taking my money every month for a baby that isn't even mine. Because I have no money." Sarah was crying now, both hands on her stomach. "I have no job, no income. I'm 7 months pregnant and completely alone, and you're the only person legally obligated to help me. So yeah, I'm taking your money. What else am I supposed to do? Connor won't return my calls. My family is supportive, but they don't have money to give me. You're all I have. Get it from Connor. He's the father. Connor blocked me. He wants nothing to do with this baby or me." Sarah was shaking, her whole body trembling. "He sent me one message after that dinner, said I was psychotic and he wanted no part in any of this. So congratulations, you're all I have. The husband who hates me is my only source of income." She was shaking. I'd never seen her like this. Not in all our years together. She looked completely broken down. Her hair was greasy, pulled back in a messy ponytail. Her face was puffy from crying. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. "You need to leave," I said. "You need to stop talking to Amanda," Sarah said, wiping her face. "Stop collecting evidence. Stop building a case against me. Stop trying to destroy me." "Or what?" Sarah pulled out her phone and opened the camera app, pointed it directly at me. "Or I'll tell everyone you threatened me, that you got aggressive when I came to pick up some of my things, that I felt unsafe and feared for my safety and the safety of my unborn child. I didn't threaten you. I'm standing here calmly. Doesn't matter what actually happened," Sarah said, still recording. "Matters what people believe. And everyone already thinks you're abusive. Everyone already thinks you're controlling and manipulative. So go ahead, say something, do something. Give me more ammunition, please, because I'm so tired of fighting you and I just need this one thing to end it all." I took a step toward her, reaching for the phone. "Stop recording me in my own house." She stepped back, still holding the phone up. I reached for it and she jerked away. The phone slipped from her hand and hit the ground. The screen cracked, spiderwebbing across the glass. The camera was still running. I could see the red recording light, but the angle was wrong now, pointing at the ceiling. Sarah looked at the phone on the ground, then at me, and smiled. actually smiled. "Perfect," she said. "You just destroyed my property. On camera." "That's not what— you dropped it. You pulled away and dropped it." "My lawyer will love this," Sarah said, bending down carefully to pick up the phone. The camera had stopped recording when it hit the ground, but she held it up to show me the cracked screen. "That's a $900 phone you just broke. Add it to my list of expenses you'll be paying for." "I didn't break it. You dropped it. And I have video of you reaching for my phone aggressively while I was trying to leave your apartment." Out of context, that looks exactly like what I said. "Like you got aggressive and destroyed my property during a confrontation with your pregnant ex-wife." She was right. I could see it playing out in court. The video of me stepping toward her, reaching out, her backing away, the phone falling. It looked bad, really bad. "Get out," I said. "Gladly," Sarah said, heading for the door. She paused with her hand on the doorknob. "Stop talking to Amanda. Stop building your case, because I'll bury you with this. I'll send this video to everyone. I'll post it online. I'll make sure every person you know sees you being aggressive toward your pregnant wife, and your reputation will go from bad to non-existent." She left. I stood in my apartment, the door still open, realizing what I'd just done. I checked my laptop and my phone. Everything uploaded to the cloud automatically. The video of Sarah yelling at me reaching for her phone, the phone hitting the ground. Out of context, it looked exactly like what she said, like I'd gotten aggressive and destroyed her property. My lawyer called the next morning. "Sarah's filing a police report. Says you assaulted her and destroyed her phone." "I didn't assault her. I reached for the phone and she dropped it. It was an accident." "Doesn't matter. She has video and a broken phone. And you have a documented history now of being vindictive toward her. This is bad. This is really bad. So what do I do?" He sighed. It was the sigh of a lawyer who'd seen this before and knew how it would end. "You make a deal, before this gets worse, before she presses charges, before this becomes a criminal matter instead of just a civil divorce." "A deal?" "You give her what she wants. Money, a clean divorce, whatever it takes to make her go away. Because if she presses assault charges, even if they don't stick, your reputation is over. You'll be the guy who assaulted his pregnant wife. Nobody will care about the context. Nobody will care that it was an accident." 2 days later, Sarah's parents called me. Her dad asked if we could meet for coffee. I agreed, mostly because I didn't know what else to do. I was drowning and they were offering a life raft, even if it came with conditions. We met at a Starbucks near their house. They sat across from me at a small table in the corner, both looking exhausted. Sarah's mom had dark circles under her eyes. Her dad looked like he'd aged 5 years since the restaurant dinner. Sarah's mom spoke first. "We know our daughter isn't perfect. We know she's made mistakes, big mistakes, but this needs to stop." "I agree," I said. "Then here's what we're offering," her dad said, pulling out a piece of paper. "You agree to a clean divorce, minimal asset split. Sarah gets $50,000 from you in a lump sum. You keep the house and everything else. In exchange, we'll get Sarah into treatment and make sure she never contacts you again. We'll also make sure she stops contacting Amanda and her family." $50,000? "For everything," her mom said. "All the support, all the medical bills, everything. One payment and you're done. No more monthly payments, no more medical bills, no more contact. It ends. And if I don't agree, then this keeps going," her dad said, his voice tired. "More police reports, more court dates, more lawyers, more public humiliation on both sides. Sarah's not stable right now, and honestly, neither are you. You're both making each other worse. You're both destroying each other. This is the only way to end it before you both lose everything." "What about the assault charge?" "She'll drop it," her mom said. "As soon as you sign the agreement and transfer the money, she drops everything. No police report, no charges, nothing. It all goes away." I looked at the paper. It was a simple agreement. $50,000 in exchange for a clean divorce, no spousal support, no medical expenses, and guaranteed no contact. Sarah's dad would sign it too, making himself legally responsible for ensuring Sarah stayed away from me and Amanda. "I need to talk to my lawyer," I said. "Of course," her dad said, "but we need an answer by Friday. After Friday, the offer is off the table and Sarah proceeds with the assault charge." I met with my lawyer that afternoon. He looked over the offer. "Take it," he said immediately. "I have evidence that she's stalking Amanda. I have everything I need to prove she's unstable and—" "To what end?" my lawyer interrupted. "Prove she's unstable? Everyone already knows that. The question is whether you want to spend the next 2 years in court fighting a pregnant woman who's documented your worst moments and is now claiming you assaulted her, or if you want to pay $50,000 and walk away with your freedom. $50,000 is a lot of money. It's less than you'll spend in legal fees if this goes to trial. Way less. And if she presses assault charges, even if they don't stick, you'll never work in your industry again. The social media posts are bad. An assault charge, even a dismissed one, is career-ending. Take the deal." I thought about it for 3 days, barely slept. Ran the numbers 100 different ways. Looked at my savings account and my retirement fund and the house my parents left me. Thought about what 2 more years of fighting Sarah would cost me. Not just financially, but mentally. On Thursday, I signed the agreement. Sarah's dad signed it too. right there in my lawyer's office. A legal promise that Sarah would have no contact with me after the divorce finalized and that he would ensure she received mental health treatment. I transferred the money on Friday morning, $50,000 out of my account into Sarah's. My lawyer filed the final divorce papers the same day. The assault charge was dropped by noon. For 2 weeks, I waited for Sarah to violate the agreement, to message me, to show up at my apartment, something, but she didn't. Her social media went quiet. Her parents stopped calling. It was like she'd vanished into thin air. Then, 3 weeks after I signed the agreement, Sarah called me one last time. I stared at her name on my phone screen for 3 rings before answering. "Hello? Hey," she said. Her voice sounded different, tired, flat, empty. "What do you want? You're not supposed to contact me. I know. This is the last time. I just needed to tell you something." She paused and I could hear traffic in the background. "I'm giving the baby up for adoption." I didn't say anything. "I'm 8 months pregnant now," she continued, "and I've been meeting with adoption agencies for the past month. Found a couple who wants him. They're good people, stable, everything I'm not, everything we weren't together. Why are you telling me this? Because I need you to know that you won. You wanted to destroy me, and you did. I'm giving up another baby, just like before. 2 babies I couldn't keep. That's my legacy now. That's what I'll be remembered for." "I didn't want this." "Yes, you did," Sarah said quietly, and there was no anger in her voice, just sadness. "Maybe not consciously, but you wanted me to fail. You wanted proof that I was broken and damaged and unworthy, and here it is. 2 babies I couldn't keep. 2 families I destroyed. That's who I am now." "Sarah, I'm moving to Oregon after the birth," she interrupted. "Going to stay with Michelle for a while. Start over, change my name, disappear. You'll never hear from me again. I promise." "Good." "Yeah," she said, and I heard her voice crack slightly. "Good." There was a long pause. I could hear her breathing on the other end of the line. "I'm sorry," she said finally. "For what it's worth. I'm sorry I cheated. I'm sorry I lied. I'm sorry I made your life hell for the past few months. I'm sorry for all of it." "Okay," I said, because I didn't know what else to say. "Are you sorry?" she asked. I thought about it. Was I sorry? Sorry for the vasectomy, for using her trauma against her, for isolating her from her family, for planning a public humiliation at dinner? "Yeah," I said. "I am. Too late for both of us, I guess." "Yeah," she hung up. That was the last time we spoke. The divorce finalized on schedule. Exactly 30 days, like her parents promised. I kept the house, my retirement accounts, everything my parents left me. Sarah got her $50,000 and disappeared. I tried to move on, went back to work, started going to the gym, reconnected with a few friends who were willing to overlook everything that happened, though they never really looked at me the same way. But my reputation never really recovered. The people who were at that dinner still talked about it, still posted about it occasionally when the topic of toxic relationships came up. Remember when that guy exposed his wife's pregnancy at a restaurant and it turned out he was the villain the whole time? That was my legacy now. 4 months after the divorce, I was scrolling through social media late at night and saw a post from Michelle, a photo of Sarah in Oregon standing on a beach. She looked different, thinner. Her hair was shorter, lighter. She was smiling, but it didn't reach her eyes. The caption said, "New chapter, new name, new life. Proud of my sister for being so brave." I clicked on the tagged profile. Sarah had changed her last name to our grandmother's maiden name, Whitmore, Sarah Whitmore. Her profile was private, but I could see she'd erased everything. No wedding photos, no mentions of me, no photos from our 7 years together, no trace of our marriage at all. It was like I'd never existed in her life.